Good evening, beautiful subscribers, old and new. Welcome to episode 24 of J Butler's Jams. Tonight it's Friday Night Movies, so I'm going to be reviewing a great movie. And since it's Friday the 13th, for all you superstitious, beautiful people out there, it is going to be the movie, you guessed it, Friday the 13th, the original in the series from 1980. This is an R-rated film that lasts an hour and 35 minutes long. There is a lot of drug use, there is a lot of swearing, a lot of nudity, and a lot of violence. So you should not have your children watch this movie with you. The other movies that I try to do are somewhat friendly, family friendly, but this one specifically is definitely not one of those family friendly movies. So I would not suggest watching this without your parents around or without you watching it with your children if you're an adult watching my show. Anyway, I digress. So back to the show. So the movie is about a camp in Connecticut called Crystal Lake. The camp was opened and it was really thriving and doing really well, except for the fact that a lot of the people that worked there were not really tentative of the guests that were and their children that they were having on their camp. So one of the campers drowns, unfortunately, while the other campers were fornicating, making love, and making love out of wedlock is fornicating. They were making love and didn't monitor the kid, and so he ended up passing away, unfortunately. And so they closed down the camp. But little did they know that while they were also closing down the camp for the drowning of one of their campers, a few of the counselors were killed while the camp was also being closed down. So nobody really knows this or much rather pays attention or probably even cares. But somebody decides to buy this camp years later and reopen it again. So the counselors, they have new counselors that come there, and they're up there and they're cleaning up the camp and setting it up and sprucing it up and making it look good for new campers to come because they want to reopen this camp and make some more money from it. So little do they know that that's not going to be an easy task for them because there's a killer on loose, and they're making sure that they kill a majority of the camp counselors that are there to spruce up the new camp. And that's all I'm going to tell you. But you have to watch this movie. It's absolutely outstanding. It's a horror picture, like I said. Anyway, so some of the cast members. Pamela Voorhees, she's played by the fabulous Betsy Palmer. And Betsy Palmer is an actress of Broadway movies, and she's also a very big TV actress. She was also a soap opera. She was a soap opera actress, but she's more known for Broadway and movies. She's absolutely stunning in her role as Pamela Voorhees. Alice is played by Adrian King. And there's a guy named Jack Burnell, Jack Burnell, played by some little unknown actor named Kevin Bacon, but we all know Kevin Bacon is absolutely amazing. We all know who Kevin Bacon is. Yeah, Mr. Footloose himself. Yeah, the 6 Degrees guy. He's in this movie. You should watch it. Definitely watch this movie. Anyway, it was directed by Sean S. Cunningham. Sean S. Cunningham is very well known in the horror and sci-fi genre as a great director. It's one of his passions that he loves. He met Wes Craven back in '78, and they did a little movie called House on the Left. Yeah, The House on the Left. I can't believe I forgot that. Sorry. There's a remake that was done more recently, and it stars another actress from the Hunger Games that you all know. But yeah, you got to watch that movie too. I'm not going to tell you, but I'll tell you about that later. But we'll talk about that later. Anyway, it was produced by Georgetown Productions Incorporated. It cost $550,000 to make this movie. It grossed 60 plus million. It grossed so much. This movie did absolutely phenomenal. So one fun fact about this movie is that I mentioned Kevin Bacon, the 6 Degrees of Separation young man. This was his first acting role. This is his first movie. It was in a horror picture. And there's 2 other actors that got their start in horror pictures, and we'll discuss those later on in other episodes. But if you feel like it, go on ahead and research who it was, and leave in the comments below, and we'll talk about it if you leave a comment, so that way we can talk about it. But yeah, there was 2 other actors besides Kevin Bacon that are really famous that got their start in horror pictures. Sean S. Cunningham, the one that directed the film, he also co-created this character. He was inspired by the 1978 movie Halloween, with Michael Myers and the whole 9 yards. Well, he was inspired by this movie, and so he decided to come up and create this character of the character and the storyline for the sorry, I was about to throw some out there, but he decided to come up with the character and the storyline for this movie based on the Halloween movies, the Halloween franchise. And the film is set in Connecticut, but it was actually taped in New Jersey, in Hardwick, New Jersey, at a camp called Nobi Boscu in Hardwick Township in New Jersey. That's where the actual site for where the film was filmed, and they even have a nice little wall of memorabilia and paying homage to the fact that the movies were done here. So it's kind of a nice little tribute that they do on the camp. But I promise you, I'm not gonna go there because I would be absolutely scared. You can go there. I'm too scared to go there, and I absolutely admit that, and I'm okay with that. But anyway, so. Yeah, so why I like the movie is that it's actually, it was the first, and it's the first one for me that featured anything with dealing with being out in the woods, and how the whole thing of how, like, a lot of people are scared to go camping now pretty much because of this movie, and I am one of those people that have been scared when going camping. But I just said, hey, if I'm in a campground with a bunch of other people and I hear screaming, I'm leaving, so at least I feel more comfortable. I'm not really a fan of going out and just randomly going out somewhere and camping. I can't do that. That's too scary for me, so I won't do it. But this movie is the reason why, and it's kind of funny. That's why I like the movie so much. And another reason why I like it, it was when I was young when this movie came out. I was very young when this movie came out, so as a kid I was very impressionable. And my mother decided that she was going to have a great summer for herself, and so she discovered that there was this camp called Camp Tall Turf in Ypsilanti, Michigan, where I'm from Michigan, and my mom shipped me down to Ypsilanti to go to this camp for 6 weeks. Yeah, 6 weeks for like 3 or 4 summers. And let me tell you, it was literally like how you see in those cartoons where they're clawing the ground and like they're scratching. That's how it was for me to get me in that car, to get me to go to that camp. It was not going to happen. I had to be pretty much almost tranquilized and like distracted and able to get me on the bus to even get me to go down to the campground. And let me tell you, while I was there, I called like every 5 minutes. They literally told me, you can't call. I was just absolutely terrified. But then when I got comfortable and knowing that the counselors I felt were less of the people from Friday the 13th, I felt more comfortable and I was able to stay at the campground and enjoy the campsite. But yeah, it's just one of those crazy things. So that is about it for my review of this movie. I've dragged on long enough for y'all to hand out you and sit here with me. So yeah, just want to thank Sean for coming up with this concept, Kevin for being in this movie, Betsy Palmer for doing her thing and making this thing more memorable than anything ever on the planet because of her acting role in this movie. It's a short role and a short amount of acting, but the woman does a lot. Like they say, there's no such thing as a small role, just a small actor. And she is definitely not a small actor, nor will she ever be. She'll be very much memorized. Anyway, so yeah, that's it for my show. Please hit like at the bottom if you like how crazy I am and how just out of the bucket I am and just how unscripted I am. I should be scripting myself. Anyway, yeah, just hit subscribe at the bottom, like my post, and please follow me and make sure that you follow me. I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, and all those other great ones like that. If you want to follow anybody from the movie, because I couldn't find anything else that was valuable enough to follow on Twitter except for Kevin Bacon, and he's on Twitter at Kevin Bacon. So, again, thanks for watching me. Watch this movie with the lights on. Please be scared because you will be. And just enjoy the movie and just know that you're going to be in safe hands because you're really home. And if you just lock your door, you'll definitely be safe. But have a great night, and I'll see you on Monday. Have a great one.